Not me.
You come back and tell them they should give you lower. This is a little guy. Maybe that's why he said So the enterprise systems collect information from data, different functions, and store them in a single data repository. And that's the same way we're doing ours. So I could actually pick a database, and when I go to different, I go to transcript office, I can run people's transcript, and I can pick that same data, take it to an examination office, and run data from it, and be able to also get reports from it. The same thing is, the issue is, even though there are different interfaces and different functions that it is, this information system is connected to, or serving, finance, accounting, let's say sales and marketing, and the other one is maybe human resource. That same data is in one database, it's in one particular file, or as you may say, it's in one Excel file or one access file. So, but depending on your access level, you may see different things, you may get different type of information from it. This enables organizations to coordinate their daily activities better, be very efficient in responding to customers, and provide valuable information. Haven't you realized that you can go to ministries and you are getting a document signed? Maybe it's supposed to go to 3 levels. The first person signs and leaves it there for you to come back and pick it. Because every level there has to be some densities. So after I my densities or something like that, it just like that. But when I go to the next level, you take it to the level, you sort out somebody there. I'm talking about really realities how that happens. But I won't mention anyone. I said the ministries. There are many ministries. Churches are also ministries. So when you go to, no, I haven't seen these things happen before. That's most of these things that you have one document. You may not be talking about, come and see me. That attitude that come greet me, sit down, let me waste your time a little bit. That respect my office. You know that a minister or somebody can be there, so sit outside, he's covered. And you can be sitting there for 2 hours, nobody can be worrying about it. So the document has to lie down until you come back tomorrow, pick it up, take it to the next room, and then go back again. Come back. So that the document was, oh, you did it. When it's ready, we'll call you. That's why they say, you need to work. We'll call you. You can wait. You get to be telling we'll call you. Why are you calling us? But when you have an enterprise platform where you can actually submit your lead online, you can actually monitor whether it has been approved or not. It's good. But the only other caveat with that one too is that if you're in an environment which is very interpersonal like us, you send the email, you still have to call the person, check your email, I've sent you an email on what we discussed, and please reply it. Why? Because he needs that telephone call. Otherwise, he has 6 emails, you read the first one, second one, and then you not read your own. So beyond the enterprise systems, you also have supply chain management systems. Those help you to connect suppliers to the company. Like what we talked about Nike, what Nike does with these other suppliers. So they can supply different parts of what of the products of the shoe to them. Others also have what we call this is an example of a supply chain management system. So you have the distribution centers, and you have the middleware, and you have the corporate systems. Now, what is happening here is that the system is linking different stakeholders together. And all the stakeholders have got access to information, but the information it gets depends on what value they are bringing to the value chain. What I mean by value chain is that there are a number of activities going on, and all these activities feed into another activity so that the product can be released in the marketplace. So if you don't get a notice that this has been done, for example, after you have ordered your shoe or produce your own car on BMW, first thing is that all the different depots that house or can potentially sell the BMW have to be notified. So they will tell you that okay, you can pick your BMW from this particular depot. Then the particular factory will have to produce it. So all suppliers have to be notified. They bring their parts together. It's assembled and then it is delivered at the depot for you to pick it up. But the assembly can only take place if all suppliers are notified on time and they deliver the different products to make the particular product, final product for you on time. So if I'm supposed to bring the tie and I don't bring it at the time I'm supposed to bring it, how can the company be able to deliver to you during this time at the promise? No. So all the suppliers have to sign sign an MOU that guidelines them in terms of their system of operation, and then also has some process to take care of the fact that if you default, what sanctions will come to you. Now, you can do all this very well, but still you can have firms who may not do their work very well, or their part well. I remember that there was a time we were doing some research on Casablanca. Casablanca was telling us that when they got the internet, one thing that helped them, the internet helped them to do was to find new suppliers of ethanol. Because most of these alcoholic beverage companies, they use ethanol as a base of producing this on the alcohols. But ethanol now got in some time in the late 2000s, 2007, 2006. It was quite hard to come by. And most of the German companies and the Netherlands companies in the Netherlands, the Dutch companies who were selling to them, and other Italian companies were refusing to sell to African companies because they default. Now they give it to you on credit for 60 days, you're supposed to pay within what? 60 days. So what Casablanca Emily said that irrespective of whatever is happening in the firm, when we get ethanol delivered to us within 60 days, even if you have to hold the employees' salaries, we hold it to make sure that we pay and make sure that we're able to fulfill our part of the deal. And this is what the operations manager also pointed out. So Richard, the internet has done the job, but the rest about managing the relationship between you and the other supplier or the trading partners is up to you, your due diligence of following or conforming to agreements. That has nothing to do with the internet. At all. It has nothing to do with the internet. If you are supposed to pay 50 Ghana, you have to pay the 50 Ghana cedis. The internet will give you the connection, the telephone call will give you the connection to the person. But when the time is up, the telephone call will reduce the call, how much you're supposed to pay. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes people think that these systems replace all the other things. So if you are working with a person who's a group, or who will default, he will still default whether the internet is there or not. It will not change, the internet has not changed a person's behavior in terms of the business. Maybe it increases the degree of intimacy in terms of communication. But if he's still duping you, he's going to dupe you. If he has not built your house, he has not built it. And many firms fail to have this conceptual understanding that a person sending information on email does not necessarily mean that he's genuine. Oh, because he has a website, we can go there, we can go and sell. You know that there are now mirror sites of other sites. Like you have backlist site, and someone will just create another backlist site to look like that tomorrow. And then send you a link that change your password or you need to change your details. And you go there, and anything that you put in is coming straight to him. So within 5 minutes, he also goes to your bank account and also does his business. So it's done. It happened to you. I'm sorry about that. When you do information security, you can share your story. We also have customer relationship management system that helps us to manage consumer information. Capture the consumer's information and you need to know. Why should you be the one who will tell your bank that your debit card has expired? Don't you realize that it's not realistic? The bank issues you the card, you know the expiring date. By the time it's getting closer, it should be able to tell you that the card is getting expired, we'll be issuing you a new card soon. So when the time is up and it's expired, they should even call you that your new card should be ready. You shouldn't go to the bank and get there and tell them that we are now processing the card, it will take 3 weeks. In that 3 weeks, if the person is a businessman, think about what is going to happen to him. So what then is the bank using our information for? Ask yourself. The thing you say. They want to chase you when you have loans. Recently, there was an issue in one of the banks. I don't mention the banks. The bank went on to, there was a mining company that was giving out loans to its employees. And because the mining company is good and is worthy of its name, when people join and they are asking for loans from the bank gives the loans out. And that bank was capturing the information based on using the company to vouch for the loan or guarantee the loans that were being given. But you know what's happening? Apparently, people were actually using it, apply, get to the firm, get the loan of 20,000 and then resign. So all of a sudden, they just realized that, this one has defaulted, this person has defaulted. Then you go back to the bank, firm, oh, they have resigned. So the question is that you didn't tell us that they have resigned. You didn't tell us anything. And the other information to try to trace the people and everything. The main information, earlier, if there was any problem, you could actually go to the bank and then what? Directly deduct from source, his salary, to make the payment. But if he resigns, what happens? So the bank was not being informed. You know, when you are getting them, they use your years, your contract years, maybe 5 years, 6 years of contract. So they'll give you a contract, they'll give you a loan based on how much of ability for you to repay. But after you have received the loan, you know you are only going for 3 months notice. And then you can leave the firm. So they give 3 months notice to leave the firm.
And does the
firm sometimes a month.
No, the firm you're talking about is 1 month.
Oh, it's just 1 month, right?
And so, does the firm inform the bank that the staff are resigning?
No!
They can hold the firm liable because they give a letter.
Did the firm guarantee the loan?
Yeah, you have to guarantee before they give you a testimony.
That is how they think. And they wanted to go and hold the firm responsible. I think that had to work out for them. They had to start. Sorry.
They didn't get a letter from the bank supporting the loans we are giving to their
staff. See, they are supporting him so far as the person is an employee of the firm.
But it says that before the employee leaves the
company, there's not a commitment that
the commitment from the employer that before the person leaves the company is supposed to inform the bank, and if there's any benefit,
the company takes a loan on your behalf. That's not that.
No, before you give an EPLS, your firm has to give a letter.
Actually, I was in the place. I was.
Okay, maybe they didn't do their record. That's why they hold them letter like that.
And I was there when we were signing up. The first time I went there, I come from the US and I saw them giving the loans out. And I'm surprised. They're giving the loans out. And he said, this guy is good. This is the third one he's coming from. So the guy was really telling me that he uses his phone to do, buy and sell land, buy land, sell it at high price. And because of that, he started a very big business out of it. And he's still working on the firm. So they were encouraged to give it out more. So after some time, but there's a lot of scam going on that you don't realize. People who go for loans from banks with houses which are not actually theirs. And by the time the bank realizes it, the house that they are going to seize, the people that will actually submit it are wrong. So the losses are claims, it's not just about this case. And it's all about the fact that sometimes they know the customer, they don't really know the customer. Or they know the customer just on the computer, but not on as a physical person. Really, that's one of the challenges I have. And that's one question that comes to mind, that what are they using their customer relationship data for? They collect all this information about it. When you are opening the account, they ask you to bring your place of something, I think something, utility bill. Utility bill. Utility bill. And then what again? Your passport, passport. And then people can go and say their passport has been stolen, they issue passports to them.
Oh no, I think they confirm, like with the voter's ID card. There's just where you can confirm whether it's true. And when you go there, you get some information about the person.
So that's the voter's ID card. But now we are using multiple registration. Multiple evidence for the banks. You know, some people can go to the bank, they don't use their registration, they use their passport. Others also use which is also something that can actually, if the data is not kept well, you cannot be able to track the person. So in future, I think some of our financial institutions will have problems locating some people. Anyway, but that is what the question that comes into mind. What are you using your customer relationship management systems for? What are they using your information for? We talked earlier about knowledge management system and what they do. Now, what I wanted to also emphasize is the intranet. One thing about the intranet, they are kind of an internal network. I know most of you have it in your firms. That enables you to manage information. Some of them even give you access to email. It gives you access to updates of news that's happening in the firm. Who is going on leave? Who is getting married to who is giving birth? It's just a complete internal network system. You have to log in with your company details and you can be able to access it. So it's just an internal distribution of information to employees, and it's a private portal. But sometimes we may also give access to an external person who may not really belong to the firm. So that connection gives us what we call an extranet. It's an intranet that is extended to an authorized users outside the company. So supposing a person is in, you are doing some job with a consultant who is in South Africa, or even in Ghana, but he doesn't belong to a firm. But because of the nature of the work he's doing, he needs information, he needs to be updated. So for that temporal 3 months, he is giving access to the intranet. So he may not come to the firm, he may be still be in his own firm, but he will log in externally to the system and be able to access it. So intranet extended to unauthorized users outside the company is what we call what? An extranet. And sometimes companies do that because they want to, for their high value clients or customers or trading partners, they want to be able to collaborate with them and then share information with them. Now, if you have understood intranet and extranet, now you come to the basic things about things that you hear all over the country now, e-business and then e-commerce and then e-government. Now, what e-business is, we using the internet to execute business processes. So far as we are executing business processes through the internet or digital technology, it's a form of business. So when we start using the internet to allow you to be able to check your employee information, it's a form of business. Although we're not getting money from it, business itself has different functions. So if any function of the business is enabled by the internet, you have a form of electronic business taking place. The electronic business. The business that is being empowered by what? An electronic communication medium, or the internet, or the digital technology. So within e-business, we can have what we call mobile business. Like you are doing mobile business with the mobile phone. So some of you nowadays, you have got mobile banking. It's all forms of mobile businesses. Now mobile banking is that you have empowered your banking services to be what? Accessed from what? Your mobile phone. So when you empower any business service to be accessed from an electronic communication medium, you have e-business. But the difference between e-business and e-commerce is that when there is a commercial value or exchange of a transaction taking place, that's when you have the commerce coming in. So when there's buying and selling, when you are managing relationship between customers and then what? Suppliers. When you are managing information between you and then a supplier, then you are doing a commercial activity. So you have e-commerce. E-commerce is then what? A subset of what? E-business. Because e-business, when you do e-business, it is EHR, like e-human resources, e-recruiting, like nowadays some companies allow you to apply online to join them, like Unilever. So all those forms of e-platforms that we have, it's all about the fact that we are digitalizing, or we are turning that particular function. If it's government, we are just making it more empowered by an electronic communication medium. Hence, we come to e-government, delivering government services through what? Electronic communication mediums. And that one too is what? Or enabling public sector agencies through electronic communication mediums, with the objective of delivering better services to citizens and businesses. So GCNet is a form of an e-government application. Because internal revenue, now what are you called? Internal revenue. You are a government institution. And whenever we empower you by technology, we actually have an e-service or an e-government service. Passport office being enabling you to pay your passport by mobile payment or by e-transact. It's a form of e-government service that's like the websites of government agencies are all forms of e-government, delivering government information to citizens by use of internet technologies. But however, when you're a politician and you go and open your own Facebook, that is what we call e-participation. Or and that is your e-engagement. You are engaging with your constituency through what? Electronic communication medium. So that is more of e-governance. It's not or e-democracy. It's not e-government. E-government is one government institution delivering services. But e-democracy is when you are empowering democratic principles through electronic communication medium. So a politician going online, like Indom has his website, he has his following on the internet and everything. I remember one last semester, one student was studying Indom in our class, and he came out with doing a presentation that Indom has a lot of followers on Facebook. But how many of them are actual voters in Ghana? So you can have a very big following, but when the day is up, it goes the other way. Somebody says, even in the queue, what change that mind? Is that a queue? Yes, even the queue. So we need the information systems department. Sorry. Yes.
Let's say an FPO from there you communicate government information.
Yeah, that's e-government.
That's e-government.
Yes. But it's also e-democracy because it's also enhancing the democratic rights of the constituency that is doing.
So it's both.
Now, it's both. But you see, they all fall under what we call e-governance. E-governance is a combination of e-democracy and e-government. Now, the reason why I'm saying e-governance more is he's promoting, the objective of doing that is promoting good governance. And good governance comes through a transparency of information. And the ability for you to deliver the information and also empower them to use the information. So if at the end of the day, both of them are coming together to get that done, then it's more of e-governance. Are you okay? There's a section on e-government that one of the other lectures will teach you, so you can actually get that. Now, in the information system department in many firms, you have got programmers, system analysts, leaders, and information system managers. There's a particular question that we used to ask in many classes, that who is the head of the information system department? Everybody says the information systems manager. Apparently, in Ghana, that is more likely to be the answer because of the way our units are very small. So either a system administrator, the one who has the unit, or an information systems manager. But categorically, an information system manager is a person who is managing not the unit, is managing a group of managers within the unit. So like the programmers and the system analysts can have a head who is an information systems manager. But then the head of the unit itself is rather headed by the chief information officer. But we don't have that kind of hierarchy here. Because the chief information system officer is supposed to be the one who will sit at the board meeting and be able to understand both the technology and understand business needs and bring the two together. However, most of our projects coming from our technical schools or NIT and IPMC are very technical. So they come and they are more concerned about he installing software, carrying a CD, is your this thing working, your printer working. Then if you're not nice to him, he will not give you printer ink and all this kind of stuff. But they always carry one CD and they can install every software. You have the latest Michael Jackson, this thing, and can give you the latest movies. These are the things that are interesting. You see? and amassing the software. That is what they are saying. So everything latest. Oh, Kwame can do it. And you come and open some bag and CC display. And then he sit down. Then he has this every about phones and all doing very interesting thing with it. Ask him how much of them is bringing in value. But you see, he will do all these things, but you can never sit at board meeting.
Yeah.
You can just understand how the company is doing. And that is why the objective of this program is to lift you above that level, for you to be more of a representative at that strategic level. Strategy is where the money is, not at that technical level. You see that those are the technical, they are chasing every small money. He's either selling laptops, or selling CDs, or telling you everything. He knows what is happening. Those are the things that are more interesting about. And sometimes I really helping them to move to the next level. You don't want to be like that. But at least you get, hey, come, when are you coming? You come and see my computer. Oh, next week I'll come. Make sure that you get me something small and I'll come. Then you go and give me 200 Ghana, he's happy. See, but a person at a strategic level sells himself in a different way. He thinks that he's building to strategy, so he should think about it. He sees himself that even by sitting on your board and giving you advice, every meeting he wants to collect at least 1,000 Ghana, and you don't understand why. Because he doesn't just give you a CD, he gives you strategic understanding of what you can do with technology. The other person who is outside is what we call the end user, the one who is going to use the system. So let's look at the different functions and just one back.
So I have a question. When it comes to
we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Allow the space is so allow.
We can't hear you.
what I said, I just want to clarify something. The CIO, CSO, and all, and with the technical people. Now, don't we think that these roles is really dependent on
That's not what it should be.
okay. The software development company is a completely different ball game from when you come to.
That is why when I came here, I actually asked you what kind of companies and what kind of people are here. So that my examples are much more relevant to you. If I came here and it's all full of programmers, I would teach this thing very different. And I will skip some slides. But I came here and I realized that there are people from different backgrounds and you need to be very accommodating of the kind of examples that you're going to use. Understand me? Now, this is kind of an environment now that shows you where the information systems officers always place. In this particular company, there is the MD, the board of directors, the CEO, and then the vice president of production, vice president of finance, vice president of marketing, vice president of human resources, and then the vice president of information system, or the VPCIO. But what they're trying to do is that every department has its own IT unit. So it can be a very large firm. So you have every department, manufacturing at the IT unit, finance at the IT unit, sales at the IT unit, and then what's the name of the other one? Human resources at the IT unit. You can see that in a firm like that. Then you can also have firms that the IT unit serves all of them at the same time. So there's one IT unit that is serving finance, that is serving what accounting, sales, and marketing. Then you can also have ones that are built according to groups. So the different firm, the strategy of the firm is to have groups, like maybe the Africa office, the Asia office, the maybe North America office, and each of those groups have their own IT units, overseeing the whole group. But I know that your firms can be different. Some of you don't even have, you have a desk in a small room there, and he's the IT. Why is she laughing?
Sir.
Is that happening to your company?
No.
Yes, so you mentioned the structure, you mentioned vice president of marketing, vice president. So do they have president of marketing, president of accounting, or they have one president?
No, because the CEO is a president.
Oh, okay. I thought you mentioned president, vice president.
You guys, that's very interesting.
Especially not here.
Now, I want to show you one company that has a vice president of technology and marketing. You see, they combine the two. The reason is that they are an online company and they see that marketing cannot go without technology. So there's going to be vice president of technology and marketing. Let's see what they do. They're looking at Blue now.
If you ask a parent, they might call it intuitive. If you ask a musician, they might call it inspiring. To a doctor, it's groundbreaking. To a CEO, it's powerful. To a teacher, it's the future. If you ask a child, she might call it magic. And if you asked us, we'd say it's just getting started.
They don't have a shop. eBay, they don't have a shop. And then there are firms that are also using technology to just support existing processes that are there. Like when we look at funerals in Ghana, Carbank, Prada, all the other, some of the shopping sites. They have a physical shop that you can actually visit. And they have the online shop too. Some of them even go to the extent of actually separating the way they sell their products. So if you buy from online, you may get a discount, which you may not see that same discount in the shop. Some also allow you to shop online, but you are shopping within the shop. For example, a shop like Agos in the UK, you can get up in the morning and buy something, like maybe an LCD TV, and then say that which shop do you want to pick up from. So they tell you that put in your postcode or your details of where you live. And they'll tell you how many shops in your area and the proximity to you and how many of them, how many of those particular items you want to buy are being stocked in it. So you may end up buying from maybe the one which is closer to you. Then on the Saturday morning, you can actually walk to the shop or whichever time you want to pick it up. Somebody will be in the queue wanting to buy the thing. You will just walk from the back and come and pick it and go home because you are paid for it already. You understand what I'm trying to say? So we are all in the queue, but we have got different. We have bought it. We are in the queue. You can get there. The thing is finished. Sorry. I want this rabbi says. I understand what you say, but I'm trying to emphasize how technology enables different sorts of value for different types of consumers and customers. So on one side, technology is enabling a company that will never exist without the particular technology. And the other side, some of them are being enabled by the technology. But there are some which are lying in the middle, like the airline companies. They used to run without most of the technologies that are there now. Today, most of them you can even check in online. For British Airways, KLM can check in online before you go to the airport. Virgin Atlantic, what about Canada Air?
Non-existent.
Non-existent. So we have information systems improving the efficiency of the existing processes and also having the ability to entirely start new processes or start new type of businesses. Now, this is what we saw about Blue now. 60,000 to 3 to 4 days delivery time, new products, understanding the gender preferences, using their consumer data or the customer data. The women are doing the selection and the men are doing what? The buying. How do you know? Because when people are spending time online and they register, create accounts, they create the account alright, they create the rank they want. But when you look at the payment details, that is going, the credit card details is going to the men. That's what they want. So there's no competitive pricing, no middlemen, no commissions, availability 24/7. So we come back to saying that what is then the digital firm? The digital firm is the one which has used information systems to become network and decentralized. And it's also to find ways or means of turning their products virtual so that it can be accessed by remote. Now I used to have what we call this digital matrix, where I try to look at some of the firms we know already and where you can be positioned. Now this is my own estimation, you can also estimate yourself. For example, Some firms are more centralized. That means that there's only one depot. They don't have branches. So like Blue Now, One Internet Flowers, they are all in from one place. They are delivering the products to you, and some firms of high digitalization. The products, almost the whole product has been turned into a digital form, like the airline companies. Then you see that those who are also low digitalization, they believe in building much more physical locations, like McDonald's does. You can actually order a McDonald's online. You have to go to the shop. But they also do high, they also allow the McDonald's looks the same as McDonald's wherever you go. Just that, depending on the community that you find it in, they will have some few dishes that a few menus, things on the menu, which might not be in some other countries. For example, if you go to Asia, McDonald's will taste a little bit more spicy. But if you go to UK or US, maybe a little bit sweeter. You know, the pepper there is quite sweeter than the other ones. So if you go to McDonald's in India, maybe you will be chewing pepper chew. Sorry, where is it? Or jalapenos.
Somebody said McDonald's in Lima. I will not have talking.
What I said is true. Then you see that there are some other firms which are highly networked, that they have linked their online shop with the physical location. So what you can even buy online and still go and pick up from the shop. Then there's one which I put it outside there. And the reason why I put Domino's Pizza outside there is that Domino's for pizza is a pizza company. They do pizzas like how Pizza Hut and all that. You can buy pizza from them. Now, what's quite interesting about Domino's Pizza, that's the last one, is the fact that they got criticized that their pizzas were not good. And they did an advert and the MD came to talk about the fact that, admitted the fact that you have told them you have listened, and now you have changed our procedures. The new procedures for Domino's, you can create a whole pizza online. You put the raw bread, the cracks of the bread down there. Then you choose your toppings, you choose what you want, and you choose your drink and everything, and then it's actually done for you. Now, what is interesting, after you have paid for it, they take you through the making process. So when they start kneading the flour, you say that they will mention the person's name. I can't demonstrate it here because it's actually have to pay it before you can actually see it going through. But when you see that, you see the kneading process, the kneading process starts into, it's about 5 steps, so that it will all become red, depending on where they have reached. So the first one, when they start kneading, they tell you that Kwame or Johnson or Karen is kneading it. Then it gives it over to this person, they'll write it down. Then when it's put in the fire, they'll write it to you. When it's went out of the fire and it's given to your driver, they'll write it down with the driver. So when you get down from your house, you are going to pick it, you just go and say, hello, okay, can I have my pizza? Because the guy, you don't even know the name, and there's the same person who bring it to you. Very interesting. And this is actually decentralized to your community. So based on where you live, is the data that will come on the screen. The only thing that is not counted is your eating. You see, do you know what it actually does? It also raises how much tip you can actually give the person. Or in the US, you have to tip the person who is also delivering it to you. So when you know somebody's name and you are going to mention it, actually, you end up tipping more than when you know the person's name. So somehow the company is making more value from you. Because when the person meets you, he greets you with your name because he knows your name too. Are you Richard? They say yes. And you also ask the person that they said yes, I am the person now. Even when I tell the consultant the name tags on the just the breastplate here. You mentioned the name. I know you don't want to pay. She doesn't pay it whenever she travels. So but that's how it does. So I was thinking that this company has a lot of Pizza Hut joints over the US. You can order from any of them online. So we have high network decentralization. The company is decentralized and it's highly networked. The computers are, the information is highly networked. And it's highly digitalized. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. The information, apart from the eating of the pizza, everything is actually, yeah. Then they also give you coupons for future ones as you buy from them. Which is a very good initiative that they have done. It's made their come back into the market, become much more promising. So ask yourself, where is your company position? But you see, this does not mean that you generate revenue. You can be a company that is putting less in technology but having high returns. And the company can put high investment in technology and have none. So it doesn't necessarily mean that. Group one. Group one is enabling you to buy something from the community. Yeah, and get to the local sales.
Yeah, what will you place that company?
I'll put them somewhere around just after Women's Prison. Now, I'll send it because it's decentralized, because it's the way to be able to go into your community. It tells you what is your community, irrespective of wherever you are, in the US and in the UK. And then it's also highly digitalized, because you are getting the promos and the sales in just there. That be able to digitalize your information. So this brings us to the snapshot of what we wanted to do in chapter 1 and 2. I think it gives us a very good overview to how the systems are working today and what kind of systems exist in the next one. Usually I do this assignment, but since we are not going to do any assignment, I'll try it yourself. Tonight when you go, try to see if you can design your own shoe online ID. Or go to bluenow.com and go and see if you can do your own rent. Yeah. You don't go and tell your husband to buy it. I can't pay for it. So tomorrow we'll meet again in the afternoon. That's true. Yeah. Yes.
If you ask a parent, they might call it intuitive. If you ask a musician, they might call it inspiring. To a doctor, it's groundbreaking. To a CEO, it's powerful. To a teacher, it's the future. If you ask a child, she might call it magic. And if you asked us, we'd say it's just getting started.